Traveling to Europe during summer can get really expensive, like $1,000 round trip economy ticket expensive. And this is for June 2023. But not for you, because in this video, I'm gonna walk you through how you can redeem as little as 25,000 points to get the same exact flight from the US over to Europe during peak summer times. My name is Max and I help people maximize their airline miles, hotel points, and credit card points so they can travel more, travel better, and travel for less. If you like content like this, remember to hit the like and subscribe button down below, and let's get into it. First up, earning the points. So the overall process for this is that we're gonna earn credit card points and then convert or transfer them over to Flying Blue so that we can redeem for Air France or KLM flights. So for this redemption, we need Flying Blue miles. If you're not familiar with Flying Blue is the loyalty program for Air France and KLM. And between both airlines, there are a ton of flights from the US to Europe. Well, how do you earn Flying Blue miles? Earning Flying Blue miles is actually not that difficult because a lot of credit card points transfer over to Flying Blue. American Express, Chase, Citi, Capital One miles, and Bilt reward points all transfer to Flying Blue. And they all transfer at a 1-to-1 ratio. That means I can take 100,000 American Express points and then transfer them over to Flying Blue, and I would get 100,000 Flying Blue miles. Same thing with Chase, Capital One. If I take 50,000 Capital One miles and transfer them over to Flying Blue, I would have 50,000 Flying Blue miles. You just have to make sure that you get a credit card that has the ability to transfer points over to Flying Blue, like the American Express Gold, the Chase Sapphire Preferred, the Citi Premier, the Capital One Venture or the Capital One Venture X, or the Bilt Rewards MasterCard. So that's how you earn the points. You can earn credit card points from any of these points currencies and then convert or transfer them over to Flying Blue at a 1-to-1 ratio. Let's get into redeeming the points. The first thing we want to do is search for award availability. We don't want to transfer our credit card miles and points over to Flying Blue until we find award availability and know exactly what we're going to be using our miles and points for. Because transferring our credit card points over to Flying Blue or any airline program is a one-way street. You can't transfer the miles and points back to the credit card. And so you have to be 100% sure or very sure what you're gonna be using your miles and points on before you transfer them over to airline or any hotel programs. To search for award availability for Flying Blue, you can go either to the Air France website or the KLM website. You can pick either one. I tend to go over to the Air France website, and so that's where we're gonna go, is to the Air France website. So I'm here on the Air France website, and what you want to do is click on Book with Miles. It will ask you to log in. If you don't have an Air France or KLM account, create an account and it's completely free. All right, I'm all logged in here. The first city we're going to search is from New York over to Paris Charles de Gaulle. Type in JFK to CDG, and I'm actually going to leave this date blank. The reason why I'm leaving this date blank is that this is kind of a hidden feature that shows you the entire award calendar, which you'll see what I mean in a couple of seconds here. And I talk about this in another YouTube video, which I'll link up here, but leave this blank for now. And then let's go ahead and put in for one person in economy. I mean, you can obviously change this to 4 people and sometimes even 6 people or sometimes even 8 people. But for now, we're gonna search for one person in economy and hit search flight. And once I hit search flight, it shows me this award calendar. This is the award calendar that I'm talking about. It shows you the entire month and it tells you which dates require the fewest amount of miles and points. I can skim through here and let's go all the way to June. I would have to note that this award calendar is not completely 100% accurate, but in most cases, it's pretty decently accurate. As you can see here, it says 16,500 miles as the lowest amount for June 2023. But if you pull up the calendar, there's a ton of dates that are only charging 15,000 miles. So it's not 100% accurate, but at least it helps you narrow down the dates that require the fewest amount of miles and points. So looking here on June 8th, there are availability on a variety of different flights, but the flight down here is 15,000 miles and $93.99 per person. This is what we're looking for. We're gonna go ahead and click on this. It gives us more information about the economy ticket, and we're gonna go ahead and click on select. And then it gives us a calendar for the return flight. And so for the return flight, let's say we wanna return on the 17th of June. Looking at the 17th of June, there's the morning flight that's available for 15,000 miles, and again, $93.98. There are 2 other flight options as well that depart in the evening. I'm gonna go ahead and select the first flight here. Again, it gives you some more information and hit select. And this is the total. It's 30,000 miles and $187.97 per person round trip in economy from New York over to Paris, which is already a pretty good deal. You're redeeming 30,000 miles and about $200 in taxes and fees. for a flight that typically costs over $1,000. You can take this search method and apply it to all the major US cities and see how many miles and points Flying Blue is going to charge you for flights from the US over to Paris or Europe. For example, Chicago to Paris is also 30,000 miles and about $200 in taxes and fees. Miami is 34,000 miles and the same $200 in taxes and fees. Dallas and Houston are 40,000 miles with the same $200 taxes and fees. And LA is a little more expensive at 48,000 miles and the $200 in taxes and fees. These are already pretty decent deals, but remember I promised you 25,000 miles round trip? Well, let's jump into the maximize section. The first way to maximize these redemptions is transfer bonuses. For example, currently Capital One Venture Miles has a 20% transfer bonus over to Flying Blue. That means instead of transferring points from Capital One Venture Miles at a 1-to-1 ratio over to Flying Blue, you can transfer those points from Capital One to Flying Blue at a 1 to 1.2 ratio. It's a 20% bonus. If I transfer 100,000 Capital One Venture Miles over to Flying Blue, I would get 120,000 Flying Blue miles. I want to pull up my very simple spreadsheet, which I'll have the link in the description down below if you want to download it for completely free. But the JFK to Paris flights required 30,000 miles. If you factor in the 20% bonus, that means we only need to transfer 25,000 Capital One miles over to Flying Blue in order to get enough Flying Blue miles to book that JFK to Paris round trip economy ticket. So that's how we get to the 25,000 mile price point. These transfer bonuses come and go. Sometimes it's Capital One, sometimes it's American Express, sometimes it's Citi, sometimes it's Chase Ultimate Reward Points, and so it can really depend. There's no way to predict when these transfer bonuses come around, but when they do come around, you might want to take advantage of it for these sort of redemptions and stack a good redemption with a transfer bonus to sweeten the deal. Another way to maximize this redemption is in some cases you can add a connection for little to no additional points. It's weird how Flying Blue works, and I'm not sure how exactly they determine some of these points pricing. For example, if I want to go to Budapest, Hungary, I can sometimes add a connection for no additional miles and just a few bucks in taxes and fees. Again, I'm not entirely sure how this works or how this is determined because some dates require you more points and other dates require no additional points at all. So going back to what I was mentioning earlier in this video is that the best way to figure out how many miles Flying Blues is charging you is to actually do the search yourself and see how many miles and points it's requiring. And the third way to maximize this redemption is that in some cases you can find up to 6 economy seats available. So that means you can fly an entire family of 4, 5, or 6 people from the US over to Europe for not that many points. This is kind of perfect for families that don't earn a ton of miles and points and want to save some money on a typically very expensive flight during peak summer season when school is not in session. For example, a family of 4 can fly from New York to Paris round trip for 120,000 miles and $750 in taxes and fees. If you incorporate a 20% transfer bonus, that brings it down to 100,000 miles. And if I look up the same exact flight on Google Flights, it's $5,343. Punch these numbers all into my spreadsheet. This is still a pretty solid redemption at over 3 cents per point. That's if you care about the cent per point thing. I'll drop a link to the spreadsheet down in the description down below. So that's how you earn, redeem, and a couple different ways on how you can maximize this redemption so that you can fly from the US to Europe during peak summertime in 2023 and not pay over $1,000 for round trip economy tickets. And as a reminder, summer 2023 is not the time to be booking summer 2023 travel, especially if you want to use your miles and points. Start searching for award availability now and kind of plan on how you can earn the points so that you can redeem for your summer 2023 travel. Comment below if you have any questions, and if you like miles and points tips like this, remember to hit the like and subscribe button down below. See you guys on the next one.